Okay, so I've been slack on my videos. I'm sorry. Yeah, life. It's just, anyways. I really don't. Okay, so this is gonna be freestyle as fuck. So I'm doing this. I'm so excited about it, but I'm doing this. I guess it's gonna be called Gates of Wisdom, and it's just gonna be me imparting wisdom that I have adopted or whatever from my favorite person on this entire planet besides my kid. So and there's so many quotes. I mean, I could do so many videos, but what I'm going through right now is kind of like a tie between like different quotes or lyrics. But I guess I'm just gonna go with this one because like it is like an ups and down type thing. So like, you know, on Kevin Gates' new I'm him too. In this song, he says, you know, emotions cartwheeling inside, a lot of compartmentalized trauma, and a lot of that applies here. Especially the emotions cartwheeling inside. That's a fact. But I feel like because I have like the sadness, the down part of it, or the just like, I guess, the feeling disappointment and it's causing sadness maybe. But then there's this other quote that I feel like, well, it's a lyric, but that suits better or very closely with what I'm going through. And I don't even know how much I'm going to go into this situation because y'all know I like to drag out these videos. I be swearing I'm going to do, you know, a 9 or 10 minute video and it turns into, you know, 25. But I'm driving and I have 12 minutes till I get home, so I have to finish by then. But so maybe that type of time limit will keep me, you know, within my parameters here. But anyways, so in one song there's this part where he says, I can't give you no energy because you just a distraction. I'm gonna have to start over this whole video. Alright. Give you no energy because you're just a distraction. No, okay. I can't give you no energy because you're just a distraction. No going backwards if you're not adding subtract. I want to sing it, but I can't sing. Okay, whatever. I can't give you no energy because you're just a distraction. No going backwards if you're not adding subtraction, and all the pain that I deal with turned into passion. Okay, so it's like that. I can't say it without wanting to sing it. Okay, I can't give you no energy because you're just a distraction. No going backwards if you're not adding subtraction, and all the pain that I deal with turned into passion. Okay, y'all just heard me sing. I'm like so embarrassed, but whatever. All right, so that's how it goes. And it's just like, okay, just a situation. And I know, like, I probably, you know, I'm supposed to be on here like, oh, I got this emotional stuff all figured out, and just let me help you through all your emotions. And then I end up in these fucked up situations, and then I'm like, every other video, like one video is like, you know, oh, Alex is this and Alex is that, I love Alex so much, and blah blah blah. And the next video I'm like, fuck him, he ain't shit, you know, he's just like all the other men, which he is, and all this other stuff. And then I just be carrying on, and I'm just up and down. But the situation basically is that I guess I just want, I know this is so cliche, but I'm just one of those people that just believes or sticks around because of potential. And I know, like, girls get like dragged because of that, of like, you know, being that girl that's like falls in love with potential and just like puts up with any and everything. And I know that's like, just I'll be the first one to tell a girl, like, bitch, like, move on, because it's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. But I do, and I think it's because of the fact that I have the emotional insight that I have, that I see. It's not just that I'm seeing like potential and I'm like telling myself that, you know, one day, you know, they're just going to change dramatically and everything is going to be great. But it's more of like, because I see so much below the surface, that like I see what is causing these negative displays, you know, or negative behaviors. I can go down almost to the root of it and see what's causing it, why this person acts this way, what's going on when they act a certain way, you know, because it's never really what's going on the surface. Like, if someone's mad at you, there's something else going on. They're not just mad, there's something else. You know what I'm saying? If someone's sad, I mean, yeah, I guess sadness, they are sad, but like, you know, there's just something just way below, you know, the surface of what's actually going on in a situation, depending on how someone treats you. And because I have this insight, I tend to give people way too many passes. Literally, I give people way too many passes for their behavior, because I'm like, oh, well, he's acting this way because of this, or he's doing this because of that, you know. And I'm like, I just know exactly what's going on. I see the whole picture, not just like how they're treating me in the moment. So I just give these passes, and then, you know, so I don't know if you would necessarily call it potential, but maybe it's just that I can see their goodness underneath it all, and I just don't like to give up on that. You know, I don't like to give up on the goodness of someone. I don't like, you know, not being there to water the soil of where they're, you know, of their fertile soil, you know, because they're going to have some dried, cracked up soil that ain't going nowhere. They have to dig that shit up and plant some new stuff, you know. But then there's some fertile soil that needs to be watered so it can grow. And, you know, I like to be around to help water that, because what if they don't have someone else who's doing that? You know, what if they don't have anyone else in their life that can see the goodness that I can see, or, you know, can try to steer them into a direction of, you know, like trying to work through some of the issues that cause these displays of behavior that, you know, harm me. So I guess that's just where I've been, is with this Alex situation, is because, like, I know underneath he's a good guy. You know, he is. He just, and that's what kills me, man, because, like, I know in his heart he's a good person. Like, and I know, like, that's all subjective or whatever, like, good person, bad person. I don't really like to put black and white terms on stuff. And whenever I come up with a better word for that, I'll let y'all know. But I know that he, like, his heart at the core of it is pure. I really truly believe that, and I've been fooled a couple times, but I truly believe that my insight is right on this, you know. But he has deep insecurities that he tries to mask, and so when he's trying to mask those insecurities, they come out in ways that hurt me, you know. Like, they come out in pride, and, you know, instead of acknowledging their faults, they double down, you know, like those type of people. And, you know, that's just that's what he does, you know. Like, it's something about, I just really need to stop fucking with people like this, because you really can't get anywhere with anyone if they do not have the ability to take accountability. If someone lacks self-awareness, then they lack the ability to be self-accountable. And if you can't be self-accountable, you literally cannot improve your character, you know. And, like, maybe I just expect people to just be, like, so good at accountability, because I, like, take it to the max. Like, my therapist has even told me that sometimes, like, I overtake accountability, in the sense that I will take accountability in a situation that really isn't mine to take accountability for, just because I'm paranoid of not taking accountability for the part that is mine, that I'll overtake it, like I'll overcompensate. So I'm just like very, very big on that, because that's really, I mean, you can't change or grow if you can't acknowledge where you are at fault, where your flaws are, like where you struggle, like, and so that's just, and just having the deep level of self-awareness and self-accountability for me is just really hard to deal with someone who doesn't have it or struggles greatly with it, and that is him. Like, I told him this, I think 2 days ago, which was, and he agreed with me. He was like, I would agree with that, which is that he can't stand to sit in uncomfortable, feel like in an uncomfortable state, and feel uncomfortable emotions. He can't. And so therefore he deflects, or projects onto me. He deflects the blame, like, oh, well, you do this, this, and this. Or he subjects, which is basically what happened last night, where, he gets onto me and puts me down and makes me feel, tries to make me feel like crap because, of something that he does and just recently did, and he knows that it was fucked up, or he knows this, he's just basically feeling, I guess, like feeling bad, or feeling like convicted. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he for whatever reason, like, knows that, like, that's not the route that he needs to be taking. And so instead of taking accountability for it and be like, I'm gonna work on this, he projects onto me and makes unfair, observations, or calls out things that are wrong, that are unfair, and also very double standard-ish. So that that is a form of, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going with this, that is a form of projection, but anyways, so it's just that he can't sit in uncomfortable emotions, and because he can't sit with uncomfortable emotions, he deflects, projects, or he distracts himself, or whatever the case may be, or he doubles down and convinces himself that he has a right to think or act the way that he is, and then doubles down on that, instead of acknowledging it. And it's just like this all the time thing. And like, we lived together when we first got together, and then 6 months, or maybe like 5 months after we got together, I moved out because I couldn't deal with a lot of the stuff, that was happening with him. And then I moved out and things got better, and it was like, I wasn't even thinking that we were going to stay together. Like, I thought this would, like, permanently just drive a wedge, and like our relationship would kind of just fade out. But instead, like, he really amped it up and like started doing the things that I was asking for, and like really making me feel like he was, like really crazy about me, and like really trying and all this stuff. And then it's like, so I finally decided to move back in after a year, almost a year of us being together now, and it's just right back to the same thing, as it was before I moved out. And it's like, so what is it, like, you just take my presence for granted or something, like, you just, whenever I'm there all the time, it's like, okay, I got her, she's here, whatever, and now I don't have to step up, or I don't have to do what I need to do to have her, or whatever the case. And he's just started back doing that. I mean, he was in jail for 2 months. When I moved back in, he wasn't even there because he was in jail, but I had to be out of the place where I was at. So I went ahead and moved back in, and he hasn't even been out of jail a week, and he's already starting with this shit, and that's just, I guess that's where my gates of wisdom is, which is, I can't give you no energy because you're just a distraction, no going backwards if you're not adding subtraction. you know, because last night he really, you know, did something that hurt my feelings and like said some stuff or whatever. And at first I cried. I did cry. I cried a good bit actually. But then after I got that out, I, you know, just I said in my mind, like, I will not go through this again. Like, I will not allow you to think that you can just treat me any type of way. Because, like, here's the thing about it is I already hate men, for real. I really do. So, like, if you think that you're just going to treat me any type of way and I'm going to stick around, like, you have me all the way fucked up. You know, like, I don't care how much I have to struggle without you, you know, or whatever the case may be. Like, you're not about to treat me like I don't have value or I don't have worth, you know, and I'm just not. And I gave him another chance really when he didn't deserve it, you know. And it's just like, and so that's kind of like the wisdom that I'm going back to. It's just like, you know, I'm just not going to give any more energy to this situation. Like, he keeps saying stuff to try to provoke me, you know, like making little comments or whatever, you know, want me to clap back. And it's just like, today he said something that I normally would have reacted to, and I didn't say anything, and literally in my mind I just smiled, like, to myself in my head, because I'm just like, okay, you know, just keep it up. Like, you obviously have no idea what you're doing, and I'm not going to give any more energy to this situation. I already know how it goes, you know. I already know what happens, and I know that me defending myself or clapping back or, you know, speaking my piece, I know that gets me nowhere with you. So I'm just not gonna do it. And then here's the you know, the kicker, or the other part, which is that, you know, no going backwards if you're not adding subtraction. Like, that's just it, you know. Like, I have things I want to focus on. Like, I have a vision, you know. I work on my character, actively work on my character and who I am as a person, and, you know, trying to, you know, be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday and stuff like that. And I'm not going to sit here and, you know, just go backwards to how it was before, for one, and then you're not adding anything. In fact, you're an energy fucking vampire. That's another Kevin Gates thing that is just so valid in life. He is a energy vampire, and I am not going to give you no energy. And if you're not adding, then I'm subtracting you. Like, I'm literally subtracting you. Like, with, as Alex likes to say, it's over with. It's out the door. You know what I'm saying? It's done. Like, yeah, I can't make my exit swiftly because I got a lot of things, you know, that kind of got to fall into place first. But subtraction, bruh, because I'm out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm gone. It's over with. So anyways, I know that's kind of all over the place, but, you know, what video of mine is not, you know. But go listen to the song. I'll tag it in the comments, but go listen to the song "It Won't Happen" by Kevin Gates. All right. Hey, that's your gates of wisdom for the day.